All right, good evening, good evening, good evening. The time is now 6:07 p.m., April 20th, 2023, and we are now ready to start our regular scheduled board meeting. I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening. Members of the public who desire to address the board on any topic related to board work must sign the roster before 6:30 p.m. It's located to the back of the room there. May I have roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mrs. English?
I'm here.
Ms. Frazier?
Here.
Mrs. Salazar?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mrs. Wills Hill?
Here.
Naija Ali?
Here.
Candelora Dionisio?
Here.
We've got a full house tonight, Mr.
Very
President.
nice, very nice. Item number 3, to adopt our agenda. Item 3.1, has everyone had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes. Yes.
Very nice, and I would just need a motion.
Mr. President, I move to approve the agenda as stated.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Mrs. English. All those in favor?
Aye.
We have ourselves a meeting. First up, item number 4, showcasing our lovely schools, showcasing Oak Creek Elementary School. We have Miss Linda Donaldson, who's the principal over there, and her AP, Amanda Martin. I think they got the students for that.
Please stand.
There we go.
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with mercy and justice for all.
Graduate, college, and career-ready students with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes and behaviors to personally succeed and contribute to the common good.
Very nice, thank you.
I don't need the stools. Yeah, no, I don't need that, but I appreciate it. Sorry about that. All right, so good evening, Board President Williams and Superintendent Burhansel, board members, colleagues, families, thanks for coming out, really appreciate it. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to talk in front of everybody, so here we go. Welcome. This is all about Oak Creek. We want to let you know about the great things that are happening in our school. We are Oak Creek Cougars. So that's what our shirt says. Amanda says, what are we wearing to the board presentation? I said, jeans. So we did make sure that we were coordinated. All the way down to the shoes, because that's how we roll. So. All right, we're going to get started with our presentation this evening. I promise we won't take a lot of your time, but again, we are excited to be able to share with you.
Thank you, Linda. Awesome, down it is. Alrighty, guys, so as we continue Oak Creek Elementary, we are going to discuss our mission and statement. And so as you can see through this presentation, you are going to see our mission and our vision is going to really shine and aim to meaning what it is that our students and our school represents. Our mission is that our vision is to spark and unite our community that fosters social, emotional, and academic development with high expectations for our students, with a vision that empowers, inspires, and nurtures students. If you think about what we go into, we're going to emphasize our staff. As you work through our staff, it is very important that we have a diverse within our staff members. So you can see that we have 46 employees. 18 of those are our paras, which include RBTs, along with our reading and instructional coaches as well, our reading and paras as well. We have 28 certified teachers, a social worker, and we share a psychologist with Centennial. Through that, we have found that we have a diverse staff as well. We have 40% diversity, whether that would be with our veteran teachers. We have several veteran teachers that come with the longer, but when we also include our new teachers, which we learn so much from when they come out of their program as well. We love that our staff is student focused and we have high performance within our students. As we think about our staff, we have a motto, which is one team, one goal. And through this, we can see that our staff really works to have high examples of participation and performance to meet that common goal. Uh-oh. I lost something down there, so I apologize. Okay, well, there's a pen down there. I'm sorry, I'll grab it in a minute. As we continue working through our staff is also impacting through our students. When we look at our students, we have a very decent proportion of males versus females. We have 50% females to 49% males. Through that, we have 132 and 133 females. Altogether at Oak Creek, we have 265 students. 46 of our students are on an IEP. 9 of our students are in the SS program. 7 of them are in our effective needs program. An average class size at Oak Creek, we have about 20 students to 25 students in each classroom, where we have 2 teachers per grade level from kindergarten all the way up to 5th grade. You can see that our diversity is also going to be reflected through our students. So I was like, ooh, it just came in so fancy. Wasn't expecting that part. You can see that our diversity at Oak Creek, we have 50% of our population is Hispanic, 34% of our population is white. We have multi-race of 8%, non-Hispanic, we have 5%, and then we have 1% Asian and 1% Hawaiian. As I look at this, it reflects a lot of what our teachers and our diversity within our teachers look to.
So last year on CMAS and our school performance framework, we received a score of 90 out of 100, which is fantastic. We wanted to highlight our biggest achievement, which was getting 100% for academic growth last year, and meeting and exceeding in every area that the state looked at.
I remember that meeting.
We're no longer on the ELG grant, but we are sustaining what we learned, and we do that through using Win Time, What I Need, for all of our students. We continue our staff PD both before the school year begins and throughout the school year, and we continue to focus on all of our instructional routines K-5, so as students go up in the grade levels, they know exactly what to expect. Another shining moment this year for data was we started the year out with 52% of our students meeting grade level already. By the middle of the year, we had 60% of our student population meeting grade level benchmarks.
I'm sorry, Erin. And through that, you can see that our journey began when we walked through the door this year with the beginning. We had an increased enrollment due to a couple of our school closures. With that, we were able to gain 60 students in our school. With also that change, it had us allow for staff change as well. Leadership response to crisis, and I know that sounds like, what does that mean? That means that Linda and I were very visible and sometimes in the wrong ways at the wrong time. So we had to really focus our priorities so that we can get ourselves back to where we wanted to be. A lot of our signs, if we look over in the other portion, that we wanted to focus on this year because we knew that we were visible, but sometimes for the wrong reason. We were like, what are our signs that are making this happen? So we knew we had high referrals that were coming into the office, lack of teacher accountability, meaning that when a teacher would call us, we would be right there in the moment, so we would take away their power and we would lose what they needed to have and make their class build that capacity within the rapport of their classroom walls. So we knew that that was an issue and we needed to change that. There was a high level of stress that was involved with a lot of this process. As you can tell, it's kind of vulnerable for us to talk about this. That's why my voice is changing, like, and there we go with this. So I apologize for that. It's just a vulnerable moment, and I think it's important that you see the beginning to where we currently are as well. With this, our staff felt unsupported, and so we really had to take back a lot from quarter one. Linda and I reflected to really come together and use our leadership to help support where we can go in the future and make those changes. So as a team, Linda and I really mind shifted where we were going. So if we wanted to make the change, it had to start with us. So we presented our why to the staff, and we really implemented with that professional development and bite-sized goals for them to continue to work through and have restorative practice be our #1 focus for the rest of our school year. The challenge that we found was that we had a lot of that high referral, so we had to turn it around to making it more positive. Focusing on that positive meant, how are we going to bring in the positivity but also recognize the negativity component of it? So we decided to do a 3 positive to 1 negative. Meaning that if you have a kid who has their hand raised and they're talking out loud and not doing what they're doing, you find 3 kids who are doing what they're supposed to do. So it's just really mind shift of what that looks like. We have offered teachers and asked them to do 3 positive referrals within our building in a month. So they were able to send us referrals based off of our matrix and our ROAR cheer that we have with our school. We had school-wide shout-outs, which now we include our staff members with. So we've started with students, and now we go on to staff members. Each member of our building, they have restorative practice questions, so when conflict arises, they go through those questions as opposed to coming straight to us as the problem. They now have a tool that they're able to use. Along with that, we have restorative practice circles where they're able to hold morning meetings so we can focus on the SEL component, but also they can emphasize what is needed for them in their classroom at that moment. With that, we're also able to use Character Strong, which is one of our newest SEL programs that we find so much power in. And when you look at where we are currently, we have definitely reduced our referrals, and we have used more of our positive referrals to help build those relationships. I apologize. We have our positive school-wide environment, and through that, we have offered several times with them several feedback components so that they can see what it is that we're doing, so that we're able to change it and make that shift as a team so that we can better our building along with our school.
All right, so if you take a look at the pictures, and throughout this presentation, you're going to see the pictures will tell the story of where we are. Lifelong learners, you'll see that this is our staff. Top left, they are engaged in, that was during the PLC. In the middle, we have, it was STEM. There was one day when we had a PD day, and we split the staff. Half went to restorative practice, which is the top right, and then the other went to the STEM lab, and in a few minutes I'll show you what that looks like. And they were actually able to go in and get their hands, it gets immersed in all the fun stuff that's in there. Which they really enjoyed. And then the bottom right is where we have accountability partners. That is something that we as admin do during our meetings. And so this is year 2 for us in doing accountability partners. And it's nice because they can follow up with one another just whenever they have a chance. We try to make it so that if there's time during, say, PLC or a morning meeting, that they're able to connect and just kind of check in with one another and, maybe talk about how they're doing on their goals. So it's things around that nature. All right, so we talked about positive. This is one of the things that we put into place, and this one is for our students. I love it because I still forgot to insert the picture. It's not the first time. I did the same thing at the admin meeting, so I apologize. So a positive referral is something that goes out to our students. Anybody in the building can submit a positive referral. which is really nice because kids will get them from people that they might not even know their names, but they have been recognized as doing something great. That is copied, sent home to the parent along with their certificate. They get a pencil, a sticker, and they get a dog tag that says ROAR. ROAR is reach for excellence. O, own my choices. A, attitude is everything. R, respect myself, others, and my school. That is our PBIS. So parents will get that. We also make an announcement so kids can hear their names being broadcast through the whole building. Some of them are really happy with it, and some they're kind of embarrassed. I don't know why, but they are. One thing that I do is after I announce it, I do go into the classroom and I make a personal announcement to the students so then all of their peers can clap for them. To the right is our ROAR board, so teachers can also nominate students for that as well. And we take their picture, we put a little blurb under there about why they're receiving that award. All right, so we're moving on. Team Cougar. So at the top, we have our basketball team, and I gotta tell you, we learned a lot. We didn't win not one game. But, oh man, there was one game that we were.
The best coach ever, though.
Yes, well, I was the assistant coach, more like a water girl. That's, yeah. I don't know anything about basketball. But our kids did learn a lot. I learned a lot about them. I learned that they do not lose well sometimes, and especially when the score is like 20-3. It's like, okay, but we made one free throw, we made one basket.
Not the good stuff.
That's kind of hard to take, but I think it was a learning experience for our kiddos. If you look at the bottom left, that is our basketball, our Special Olympics unified team. Great time. The kids had a blast. Talking about hustling, oh yeah, they were there. And our kids that are coming from Gen Ed to support our SPED students were amazing, amazing. To the right, we have football. That was the very first event that we did in that Special Olympics unified team as well. So it was a great time. We do have 2 community partners right now. I want to say first, thank you to Centennial for sharing I Love Care with us because that one was huge, so I'm going to talk about that one in just a second. But in the middle is Pastor Gwen. She is the pastor of Genesis Church. They are a small church, but mighty. They have provided food for us that we can give out to our students if need be. They bring treats for the staff. They have done handwritten notes for our staff. They have written in chalk on the walk-in just some words of encouragement. They've really done a lot for us. So this is our second year with Pastor Gwen's church, so we're really excited to keep that partnership going. And so on to I Love Care. What's been really great about this, they come in with their trailer that has all of the equipment that they need, and they set up. Kids get comprehensive eye exams. I mean, comprehensive. It's not that cover your eye and what letter is that over there. I mean, it's pretty intense. And so with that, I think we had around 65 students that took advantage of that. So parents were like, yes, we want our child to have their eyes checked. About 50 of those kiddos received glasses. I laugh because I've never seen so many kids want glasses. You know, can I just have some glasses? And I'm like, if you had to wear them all the time, you might not be saying that. But so the one thing, and Keegan, he is over this program. He said next year, when he comes, he is going to bring glasses that have no prescription. And so the kids that really want glasses, they're going to be able to get glasses. I think that's great. They also brought in just some trays of glasses, so students were able to pick their own glasses out. Some of them needed a little more help than others. I had a kindergartner that wanted some this big, and I said, no ma'am, you can't have those. So she got a cute little pink pair. But every month, Keegan comes, he does adjustments. If kids have lost their glasses, we can send him an email. He will go ahead and order another pair. So they're well taken care of. I think some of our families were a little leery, like, I don't know, it's probably just going to be, you know, your simple cover your eye exam. And then when kids start talking about it, they're like, oh, I kind of missed out. They got a folder that went home that explained everything. If they had a prescription in there, they had that so that they would have a copy of it, and they had all the information if they needed to reach out and get any other services. So academic performance, you'll just see this is just learning in action. At Oak Creek, we do a lot of small groups. This year we transitioned from learning what did we say? Thank you. Objectives and DOLs. My mind just left my body there. Objectives and DOLs to learning intentions. That is what you see. If you look in the middle, you can see that's what we're expecting the kids to do. That's pulling in the standard, pulling in the skills that we want. And then the success criteria is something that is done with the students. It's not created by the teacher, him or herself. It is done with the students, and that is how they're going to show whether or not they were successful on the learning intention or the skills that we were focused on. So that was a change for us this year. We started working on it a little bit last year, and then this year we went through the whole building. So I'm talking specials and everyone, this is what we use instead. Okay. It's already moving, but at the middle one you'll see that is our new lab that is set up. It's pretty exciting. Everybody's jazzed about the 3D printer. We haven't had training on it yet, so, well, we can't use it at the moment. But kids are really enjoying having all of those materials. To the left is our students during STEM. They get that once a week. So our specials include PE, which is full-time, and then we have 0.5 music, 0.5 art. And then we have STEM, so that's in addition. And the kids have a blast in STEM. Brian is one of our para-educators, and he does an awesome job of providing students opportunities to get their hands on things and try different things. Sorry. That's okay. So the kids really get excited about that. They also get very upset when they have to miss it. So if we have a day off and they don't get their STEM time, it doesn't go over well. And then you'll just see our third graders taking advantage of the Learning Commons. And they are out there, they had their parachutes and they're doing all of this. They were making predictions and they got up on the ladder and they were graphing data. They were doing all kind of fun things with that. So just another use of our building. Okay, this is kindergarten in action. To get that blue mouse to the cheese. But you notice that he is counting and he is trying to figure out, because he has to program the mouse to get to the cheese. With a little help. So that is one thing that they do, and if you ever come into the Learning Commons during kindergarten time, they're spread all over the place, and talking about highly engaged, they're definitely there. Just some pictures that you'll see where what we did for our students during CMAS was give third, fourth, and fifth a 30-minute period of STEM a day. So it was kind of a break after testing, and Mr. Mack set up different stations, and they went and they just got a chance to be engaged in trying different kits. Some of them, actually most of them, come from our STEM lab, so it's kind of nice that they're able to get their hands on those and do some trying to figure some things out, some exploring. We had a contest where, and I think the picture to the left, you'll see, that was 3rd grade. I showed them a picture of 5th grade's tower. They weren't really impressed. I showed them a picture of 4th grade's tower. They weren't really impressed. So then they had to do their own. So they made sure that theirs was the largest. But just, you know, again, giving them the opportunity to engage in all of those activities. And then we have, these are our little ones. We have to the top left, we have our SSN kiddos when they were celebrating 100th Day. By the time they left, they did not have 100 Fruit Loops on their necklaces. We tried. To the right is one of our teachers and her son, and that was during our ornament night, so a family night, just getting the families in. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's a learning opportunity. We do like a science night or a STEM night, but sometimes we just want to bring them in and have fun, and that's what we were doing during this one. You'll see the bottom 2 pictures are my effective needs students that are, they went on a field trip, they went to Fargo's and to Skate City, so they were pretty excited. I was disappointed because nobody brought me pizza, but sometimes it's like that, I guess. All right, so some other things that we do in our building just to kind of have some fun, keep morale up. We do Spirit Week. To the left, you'll see, that's my 4th grade team. They are new to the building. They switched the jerseys, and you can see Mr. Burns pretty much despises the Vikings. But that was just a fun picture of them. And then to the right, we have our student council, and actually we have a couple of them here. We have the 2 in the back, they're on our student council. And then Mrs. Catton is our student council rep. So she takes care of all of this fun stuff for us. But again, just an idea of some things that we do at school, on top of the learning, because that's first. Uh-oh. There you go, okay. Some community connections, some things that we've done. We have an amphitheater that is, when you come into our parking lot, to the left, there's an amphitheater. It was in pretty bad shape. The wood was rotted. Couldn't take anybody out there because you would get splinters for sure. And so I had a few parents and staff members, my mother included, was out there. They picked the hottest day of the summer to redo the amphitheater, but it was worth it. So I can't tell if that's Mr. Sparling or not, but he provided all the wood and the labor. So it was a good time. We were out there, we broke down all of the old wood, took it all away, put the new wood on there, stained the wood. It was nice, it was a good time. And now some of our STEM classes are done outside at the amphitheater, so we're able to use that now. It's a really nice space. You'll just see where we had family hikes. This year we did a Veterans Day march, and we marched in the building instead of outside because it was way too cold. But we invited our veterans to come, and they sat in the Learning Commons as we paraded through our school. We had posters around just honoring each of the branches. And so the picture to the bottom right is just some of our veterans that came to participate. And again, just some other pictures of things that go on. Just a lot of learning happening. Sometimes it is with the students and their teachers. Sometimes it's with community partners. Sometimes it is like the dad to the left, he's just in the STEM lab. He doesn't want to really get in there, but I think my gut says, I want to play with this stuff too. So. All right, and then we have our ELO clubs. We do before and after school, and just listed below are some of the clubs that we have going. We have a lot, and we have probably over half of our students participate in either a morning or afternoon or multiple clubs. So it's really nice to have that, that opportunity for them. So you'll see the Lego, and we have Land Sharks going right now, so they actually have their first race on Sunday at 1 o'clock at Harrison High School. So. All right, so our goals for next year to do full implementation of CKLA, which is our new reading curriculum that's coming on board, to do full implementation of Eureka Math Squared, DIBELS 8, and we're going to continue with restorative practices. Amanda talked about this a little bit before about being more visible as leaders. I'll just clarify that a little bit. When I say visible, when you walk into our building in the mornings, you will not find us in our offices. We're in the hallways. We are strategically placed, so kids will have 2 to 3 adults saying good morning to them before they even make it to their classrooms. The first time we started that, we had a lot of this. Or maybe I'll try to go that way, and then I won't run into anybody. But then we got wise, and Mrs. Catton said, how about we put student council out there too? So not only are they getting it from adults, they're getting it from their peers as well. And so we're going to continue with that. We're going to continue being in the classrooms because that is where we need to be, and we're going to continue to have fun. To the right, my assistant principal, this was somebody's costume, by the way, but I thought it was a fun picture to share. And then to the left, that was me on my journey to the Philippines. Going was much better than coming back. I'll just put it like that. I was a little on the tired side. So that is all. Oh, wait. We have one more. It's a very short video, but I know the audio isn't great.
Because we don't have to pay for lunch and breakfast. I like Oak Creek because I get to do science.
Oak Creek? He's one of my Spanish-speaking little guys.
I love Oak Creek because of all my friends, and I love to learn and grow. I love Oak Creek because of the amazing teachers we have. I love Oak Creek because it's awesome, and you get longer walks to walk to class sometimes, and if you get longer, and it's shorter to check out books, so you can get more books and check them out more often, so you can read a lot. And plus, you can also the teachers are great when teaching and good for kids learning, and they also give us school supplies that helps us learn more activities.
He was going to make use of his time.
Way more often. I love Oak Creek because it's fun. I like Oak Creek because it is my second family. I love Oak Creek because they are really nice to me.
Go.
I love Oak Creek because it has proper education for all students, and it has teachers and students who understand who other people are. I love Oak Creek because it is the best. I love Oak Creek because the teachers are nice. Oak Creek rocks!
Right, that is the end of our presentation. Do you have any questions?
Very nice, very nice. Love Oak Creek. I need to go see that new amphitheater.
Yes.
Need to see
It is purple and white.
You guys dodged.
Purple and white because my mom painted it, and everything has to be two-tone. It cannot be just one color, so.
So she was the inspiration for the T-shirts as well.
Well.
You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. I want to take a step back. Right when you were talking about when you were helping one of your teachers, she was having a rough moment with her students, and instead of stepping in, gave her a moment to pause, think her way through it. I'm learning that myself with my child because she's starting to do buttons and things, and she just doesn't know. It just takes a little bit more time. Sometimes that learning environment, and especially when you're supposed to be the teacher, you don't have it all figured out just yet.
Right.
And kids push your buttons, and I'm learning that. But you just take some time, they figure it out, especially when you got good leaders who are stepping in to
Thank
help
you.
out. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. That growth from last year, I was excited when I saw you guys. Yeah. It's
Thank
gonna
you.
be a good one. The I Care.
I love care.
I Love Care.
Care.
That's an amazing
It is.
organization.
It really is.
Amazing organization. I hope they reach back out again.
They're already planning. I think we have our date scheduled for next year already.
Very nice. We need to see if they can reach out to all of our students. That's a phenomenal
Yes.
resource to have.
Today, they were actually at one of the shelters,
Okay.
and they were doing eye exams and providing glasses for
So
them.
they're busy doing the work. That's
They
good.
are.
It's
They
good
are.
to know that because they're not here, they're doing the work elsewhere.
Yes.
So that, yes, you guys are doing phenomenal. I don't have anything to add. I do have a few gifts for your students once we're done with our comments, and we'll take a few pictures.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Thank
Does
you.
anybody have anything to add?
I love your mission to spark and unite. And it's evident because it seems you have a strong community focus and your parents are engaged in the process.
Yes. Thank you.
I appreciated the part of the presentation where you showed us the journey map
Mhm.
and going from the high referrals to the restorative practices. And it wasn't just for the students, but even through professional development. I think that is really outstanding because it's a holistic approach. And so I am really pleased. Of course, I was there. Was that the first or second day of school that I came in? And
Oh, yes.
Which
We
one
came
was
in,
it?
and it was
I was
busy.
like, oh, okay. You invited me to come back. I haven't made it back yet because, yes, God bless you. But I appreciate all your staff, and the students they appear to be so engaged and appreciative of all the efforts that you all put into the work. I'm happy to see my friend, Miss Lisa Kraft, behind you. I'd like to acknowledge, give her a thumbs up, shout out. But all your staff is just wonderful, and so
Thank you.
thank you. Congratulations for your accomplishments.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This was a great presentation. I appreciate the vulnerability, really, because we're here and we hear all of the good stuff, but we know that there's challenges.
Mhm.
And for you guys, for both of you, to really just say, hey, these were the challenges, this is what we've recognized, and this is how we turn things around. I, and I'm sure everyone else appreciates that. And then all of the work that you guys have done in regards to building relationships with students, I think that's so important. I know that our role is to educate students, but if we don't have those relationships with them, they're not going to listen.
Right.
And so I appreciate you making that extra effort, and then also implementing the restorative justice part of it, because that's what makes us good, right? We recognize what's going on in our students' lives, and we want to make a positive difference, not just a punitive,
Right.
Here's a referral, go to the office. So I personally appreciate that. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to you, your staff, and all our parents that come and volunteer. And from the looks of the pictures, it looks like you have you and your staff have created an atmosphere for our students to thrive, so thank you, we appreciate that.
Thanks.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that you don't get 100%. They got 100%. That means every single student grew over 1 year's growth in 1 year's time. So mark that date down, because that doesn't happen, and that means something special is happening instructionally there. Now, it might not be a secret that that's where we take a lot of people to look at what's happening instructionally there, because we want to replicate that. But really, when we talk about who's doing instruction right in our district, Oak Creek does it right when we look at it, and the data is showing that. So I just want to make sure we understand how rare that is to see 100% in anything, but particularly on a Colorado growth measure. So congratulations, Oak Creek.
Can I come and visit? Because I'd like to see it.
Come on over.
And I've got bags for all the students, my student council, and my Pledge of Allegiance and mission readers.
And staff, come up and be in the picture too. Yes, Lisa with your. That's why I'm like, who called her mom for the dog tag?
Ready? Oak Creek. What? Oak Creek. That's not very enthusiastic. Oak Creek. Rocks. Thank you.
All right. Already putting them to good use. All right. All right, we're going to move right along to item number 5, communicating with the public. Item 5.1, public comment. And we did not have anyone sign up this evening. Item 5.2, we have our board presentation today. And today, we are honoring they didn't give me anything. I know. That's crazy. We are honoring our administrative assistant, Norma Arambide.
Yay, Norma!
She had no idea. Norma is our lifeline. She helps us through the thick and the thin. She is our conductor of chaos. And she keeps us wrangled up, especially me. And she does a very good job of it. We have some gifts for you to show you that we appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you because my gift will be a little bit late because I was running in and out of the house today and left it on the counter. So you will get that when you come back from your vacation.
Thank you.
But we love you so much. I've appreciated working with you over the past couple of years, and it's been phenomenal. You've become such a great friend for me.
Norma, these couple of years have really, really been achievable for me because of you. You are the powerhouse of not only the board, the superintendent, but the district. you hold us all together. And I thank you for all that you do.
Short and sweet. You the best. I love you.
Love you too. I want to make mine short because we know I cry. I appreciate you so much. From even when I was running my campaign and didn't know how to navigate, to you visiting me when I was out of the hospital and to bring me things. I just so appreciate you for everything that you do. You do really keep me on the straight and narrow, because especially in the airport, we all know that I don't like to travel alone. And so really, I just feel so appreciated by you, and you're so gracious. For people that don't know, you don't make us feel like, oh my gosh, you're grown and you have a degree and you don't know this. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So before we're going to go out and meet you out front, we have a couple of things for you. But Norma is our glue. And so next week is Administrative Professionals Week. And we won't have our board meeting then, but we're doing it tonight. So if you'll meet us in the middle, we're going to give you your presentations.
In the middle of what?
You got to come back up.
Thank you very, very much. I'm so grateful. It has been a joy to be able to work with all of you, and every single one of you, I promise. And thank you so much. You make you make my job easy. Thank you.
So just a couple of gifts for you from the board and some flowers.
Thank you. Thank you so
Here's the workload. All right. We're going to move right along to item number 6, board consent agenda. And for the public, these items have been thoroughly discussed by the board members, and we have all decided to move them along to our consent agenda. Item 6.1, approval of minutes, work session March 2nd, 2023, and board meeting March 16th, 2023. Item 6.2, OE2 Superintendent Emergency Succession Plan, which we agree with, by the way. Monitoring report, Dr. Wendy Burhansel, Superintendent. Item 6.3, OE13 Facilities, by our own Ms. Shelley Becker, Assistant Superintendent and CFO, and Levi Schroeder, Director of Operations. And item 6.4, OE10, Communicating with the Public Indicator Report, by our own Christine O'Brien, our Public Information Officer. And for 6.5, I would just need a motion.
I move to approve the board consent agenda items as stated.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by Mrs. English. All those in favor?
Aye.
Items so moved. Moving along to item number 7, the superintendent consent agenda. Item 7.1, approval of the 2023-2024 ATU, which, by the way, has the highest pass rate over the district in very many years. That's something to be very proud of.
And just because we like data, we have 1,400 staff in our district and 12 voted no.
So, they're your outliers.
Yes. And there were some misunderstandings, and we're working with all the comments that were given to make it even better next year, but very positive culture and approval of recognizing staff and really being able to compensate them where they need to be.
Item 7.2, April 2023 Personnel Report and Comparison Report. Item 7.3, February 2023 Financial Statement. And for 7.4, I would just need a motion.
I move to approve the superintendent consent agenda items as stated.
I second.
Motion by Mrs. English, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me. Item so moved. Got choked up on that one. Item number 8, monitoring board performance. Item 8.1, our annual work plan. Do we have any additions? No additions. Item 8.2, do we have any legislative updates?
So we heard earlier, Shelley and I were talking and just sharing that last week the sky was falling in school finance, and this week we are ready to have a party. It's the best looking school finance bill that has come from the state. It's still not fully funding us, so I'm not going to have a huge party, but it's the right direction, and it's going to make a huge difference for our kids. And so the cost of living factor, the buy down of the negative factor, more money for special ed kids, knowing that we have an at-risk population in Harrison, all of these pockets of money will affect us in a positive way. We still have work to do to get the state to fund us fully for what our kids really deserve and to make sure we can pay our staff what we need to pay. But for now, we will celebrate and we will move forward. We'll be in a great place financially as a district. House Bill 1241 is looking at the accountability system in the state. It passed with a resounding yes, and we support that fully. We need to relook at how we measure school success, and I think you've heard us loud and clear. One test does not measure anyone's success, especially when you have a diverse population, and that test doesn't account for diversity. So we are fully supportive of the accountability study and hope we get some people to be on that committee. And then the last one is House Bill 1109, which I testified against, went back to the table, came back out as House Bill 1291. Again, fully against it. It's not going to keep our kids safe. And so it was supposed to be heard in Senate today. I didn't see if it came up, but they don't think they have the votes to pass. CASB, CASE, Rural Alliance, every alliance with educators is saying, no, this isn't helping us keep kids safe. So that's where we are, and just we're excited. Finance bill, I just want to go back that we are proactive in Harrison. We've already looked with CDMT, so we are in a really good place to move forward with salaries and get our staff, when they get to go on summer vacation, they're going to go on a good summer vacation, come back, and know we're going to take care of them. So really good place for us as District 2.
And I just wanted to say, I don't know if you all knew, but we were one of 23 states that didn't have anything to ban corporal punishment against students. So the government, well, it is the government, but the governor signed my bill today, House Bill 23-1191, to prohibit corporal punishment in schools.
Successes all around, all around. For item number 9, we are going to convene into executive session, and I would need a motion.
Mr. President, I move that the board go into executive session as authorized by CRS 24-6-402 4F1 to discuss a personnel matter the discussion of the board's annual evaluation of Superintendent Dr. Wendy Berhansel. At some point, Dr. Berhansel will be invited into the session to discuss the evaluation with her.
Very nice. And attending will be myself, Ms. Frazier, Mrs. Wills Hill, Mrs. English, Mrs. Salazar, and then to follow Dr. Berhansel. And I would need a second for that motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Mrs. English. All those in favor?
Aye.
Dr. Claudio, why'd you scare everybody away?
I eat so much chocolate when I come here.
See, I knew I should have said bye before we left. We came back to an empty. Hello, thanks for staying. Did Shelly leave too?
Dedicated.
Christine? Okay.
Everybody. Darn, even our student reps.
All right, the time is now 7:51 p.m. We are reconvening from executive session. Those now present are Ms. Frazier, Mrs. Wills Hill, Mrs. English, Ms. Salazar, Dr. Berhansel, and Mr. Corey Williams. And that was 28 minutes and 10 seconds of executive session. That's what's on that's the recording. Gotta put that out there. We will move right along to item number 10 to adjourn, and I would just need a motion.
Mr. President, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by Mrs. Wills Hill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Everyone be safe in your travels.